Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim, this is the Restoration Couple, and today is an exciting time. Not only are we starting the framing, as you can see behind me, but also we are introducing our new channel sponsor for this project, and that is Speedy Hire. So a massive thank you to them. They're going to make sure that we'll be able to keep on churning out the videos and sharing all this good stuff with you. And it's really good to have that reassurance because we're putting a lot of time and effort and energy into this, and having people like Speedy who are going to be able to support the channel and follow through the whole project with us is just amazing. It also means that you guys get to see more videos because we can put a little bit more resources towards getting the editing done and keeping on top of things. But with no further ado, let's get on with the framing. Jo's decided she wants to build something, so we're building today.
Well, I think one day a week on a build isn't going to make it happen any quicker, is it, Tim?
Yeah, we've got a bit
I'm
distracted.
just trying to get a little bit of fire up his bottom.
We've been a bit distracted lately. But we're gonna...
I have been so on cabin build mode.
Okay. We're actually going to do some building today. We're going to go and get the stud wagon. If you remember, we got our old trailer up there. Bring all the studs down. I'm going to start framing up. I'm not sure we need a sheep trough. Now thinking back, we've also got a load of 4.8 metre lengths of CLS. We'll use that for the sole plate and the wall plates where possible. Now, if I remember rightly, half of these are cut, half of them are not. So you can see these ones are the long, so these are just straight off the shelf. And then these ones are stud lengths, so they account for timber at the bottom, 2 timbers at the top. So hopefully you would have caught the previous video where I went into all the ins and outs of how we're going to build this and how we're going to insulate it and the whole methodology. And because of all those reasons, which you can go back and have a look, I'll link to it at the end of this video, we are going to go ahead and frame up our walls. You want to build?
Yay!
So we're going to build. We then need to translate what it says on the laptop, because we haven't printed it off, to the studs, and we'll mark them, you this side, me that side. What are you eating and not sharing?
Dried mango. You've already had yours at lunch.
381, then an X, and then from there on it's 400 sensors. But so if we put a nail in there, it should be 400 sensors. You got wrong walls. You're giving me 3-inch studs. You've got to be this dimension.
I just said to you.
Short ones.
I said short and thin, and you said yes.
No, short but wide.
You did not say that.
Sorry. Skinny ones are for the joining wall. So unfortunately, because we've got our waterproof, weather-resistant finish on the floor, and we need to leave in our bubbled up PU glue, it's not going to give us a perfectly flat, smooth surface to build on. So what we're going to do is build on stilts. We're going to put some boards running that way.
Wait, so when it's at the top but not the bottom, for the window, for the door,
Yeah.
am I putting one here?
No,
And
we just
cutting it?
jump to the far end of the door.
Okay.
Here. This is the side of the door. These are such good studs. Thought I'd never say that. Yeah?
Yeah. Might not be high enough. Put it on.
I'm good. So framed up the first part of the wall. This is the patio door, but the timbers that we were going to use, which are now cut, are these ones here, and they're 45mm-ish, but by the time we sister those together, they're just a little bit too wide. So we'll come back to that. I might either plane them down or find some other timbers. So that needs to go in with 2 extras. But if we move on to this bit, I'll kind of explain where we've got to. So we were using 4.8 metre lengths for the top and bottom. This one ran long and it kind of ended halfway through a window. Now, because it's only little me and Joe lifting up these panels in, by hand, 4.8 metres or 16 feet is as long as we want to do, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Without us, having to rig things up. I mean, we have the benefit of being able to get up top there and pull stuff up, but I think if we work in that sort of size sections, that'll make sense. So I'm starting a new panel here, so I just cut that one down. We'll put an extra stud there, and for the cost of a stud, I think it's going to make sense. So we'll start our new one here. We've got an extra stud to throw in there, and then we can carry on framing out to the window.
Let's get cracking.
We're still at 400 centres, right? So our next one is there. Right, well, we kind of framed up our panel, and I've just realised we're kind of working the wrong way around. This corner is actually over there, because we don't really want to be turning the chassis at all. But for now, we're going to move this, and I'm going to frame up the bedroom. Been under the car, haven't you? Is that oil? Donut. You got the hoodie on, so that means you need to do some work. Can you see there's a line and then an X? Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it needs to line up on the line, and the X is where the wood's going. Does that make sense? Another one. Let's take a quick interlude from our framing, because rumour has it we've had some little arrivals on the farm. Right, so alright, I'm just having a little peek at your babies.
Where was it? Can I hold it? Oh my goodness. So little. Can I hold her close to your heart? That way she can feel you.
She's got fluffy feet.
Do I put her back now? No. No, Rose, I've got to put her back
Hang
now.
on, let go, Rosa. Good girl. Okay, proper. These arrivals will be hatching in July.
What?
Big Mama.
Oh my, I think she is going to have a baby. She's quite chubby.
Yeah? How many babies do you think she's got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6.
I can feel one over there.
I'm going for 12. You go 4.8 metres along the bottom of it, and just make sure it doesn't end in a window. I don't think it does.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now walk. You hold, move it. Walk it, walk it, walk it. Walk it. Fine. It's tall, isn't it? Good lift. Good lift. We've kind of done something. 2 frames, half built. We're going to leave it here because it's late and we've got editing, and I mean, it's the school holidays, but you really can't be up this late. Anyway, we will pick this up in the morning. Okay, we're going to take a quick break from the framing because it's pretty hot and tiring work, but we really wanted to announce, as promised, that we've also got some big project videos coming in the next, over the next year. 10 big monthly project videos, and we've got a few ideas, but we might need some more. Joe's got the list and it's growing.
Oh yeah, wow. Yeah, a lot of them revolving around kids and things that we had at the last house, or things that we could do loads better at this. Like, we've got the space now.
Especially if we get the bigger kit, like hiring out a big digger rather than or the trampoline dig, what we did by hand.
Might be a bit easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of we've got some cool ideas, but we'd love to hear
bridges
yours.
And tree houses and stuff like that. But it'd be great to hear what ideas you got. We might put a little post out on Instagram in a few weeks' time to see what you want to see us do.
Or in fact, what tools you think you might want to use that you want us to test run for you.
Yeah.
Or projects, I guess.
I want to try a high pressure steam pressure washer.
On what? Everywhere.
All the
Hours of fun.
Yeah. I think it will it's the only thing that will clean. There's so much oil and grease from the tractors over the years. Let's get back onto the framing, but once again, it's great to have a channel sponsor. It means that we can focus on this, we can get more videos out for you guys. It's kind of win-win, and hopefully we're going to have a little bit more resources that we can
and we love the
get
fact
some
it's
help with
on,
editing. And
we love the fact it's on topic too.
Yeah.
Don't we?
We turn down an awful lot of people who approach for one-off videos.
Yeah.
And they're just quite often not on topic. They're kind of, they're anything from tool reviews through to
slimming,
apps
food, and exactly. Not us, basically.
But when we found out that they were fans of the channel anyway, and they approached us, it just seemed like a really good idea.
And it's tool hire too, which is something we're quite keen to. Like, it's better for the environment if you hire a tool rather than having loads stuck in your.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a good tool collection,
Yeah.
but you're right.
I would always be on the higher side.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like one-off.
We could basically open up our own.
I know you could, but then you don't like anyone borrowing your stuff either.
I just like to know where it is. That's all.
Yeah, he'd prefer to go around and help someone with their job just to look after his own tools than lend someone it.
So we'll just trash Speedy stuff now instead. Anyway, let's get back on with it. And we've got probably 6 framing videos. We are hard at it.
Yeah.
And we're going to get this frame raised.
Please.
It was going to be today, but we've been crawling around under here doing jacks and tightening things up, and it's pretty hard work.
Looks like nothing has happened today.
No. If people, we're not going to show you because this is the first of many, but if you could look behind the camera, there's
Yeah, but that's yesterday's
walls.
work.
Yeah, I know.
What
but
we've done today.
what we've done today is moved 2 tons of steel and got it all level.
2 millimeters.
We're not even done that yet.
No.
Anyway, let's get back on with it. Right, it's day 2 of framing, and I suppose I better give you an update because I've just cracked on with it. I've had the GoPro running. Hopefully that time-lapse told a story. Let me give you a little bit of a walkthrough on where we are and also some of the design changes. Well, minor design changes. This is the bedroom end. This is actually going to stand up where it is. Windows. Originally we were going to have lintel, a header along the top, a chunkier timber. It wasn't necessary. That's why we've got 2 this side. It really, once this is sheathed on the outside, sheathed on the inside, it becomes almost like a sip. It's completely structural and it doesn't really need it. It's lightweight trusses and a lightweight corrugated roof. There is no load as such, like you might have if it was 2 stories or if it was a heavy duty roof. So that's the reason for going that. The only place I will do it, which is the one we started yesterday, I will put in something a bit more structural above that patio door opening. Come along that bedroom wall, about here, we've got a dividing wall before the bathroom. This is just a small bathroom window. So I will be putting in an extra stud, 90 degrees to that, where the internal wall splits off, but I'm not 100% sure where that's going to be yet, so I'll hold off. And we've got another dividing wall kind of halfway before we get to what I think is the office. Yeah, study office area. And then we're coming up to about here, another internal wall. We're getting there. Progress has been made. We're still okay on the cut CLS. Remember, we cut all these studs to length on the mitre saw, so they're really accurate. And we can use that as our, that's just keeping everything nice and straight because we had a nice stop on the saw, so nothing was cut by eye, no room for mistakes. Everything else I'm just marking up and cutting as I go, top and bottom above openings. This is our middle piece of the jigsaw that's going to join these two panels to the one that we've half built up the other end. So that completes the section, was basically the difference, which completes up to 16 metres, so we've got a full length. Of course, in a factory, they would trust their measurements and their software enough that they would just build each section metres, or if not days apart from each other. I kind of like the idea that we can lay it out and measure them in complete, you know, as a complete wall section, and then we know we're not getting things wrong. For instance, here I'm measuring back onto the other panel to carry on our sensors, rather than just assuming that our cuts, you know, our new panel starts in the right place. There's a window here, so I'll mark them, but I'm putting a circle around them just so I know that they're not full studs. Bit of the line. Can you grab those two little blocks over there to help Eden?
What should I do?
Put one under Eden's foot end.
It's already there.
Just anywhere on the grate. I've now framed out the kitchen window. So all of this side I've made, what do we make them, 1.1 metres from the floor level up to the sill, because they're either bedrooms or kitchen, so hopefully worktop heights and things like that should be fine. And then now we're onto the patio door, which you're looking at upside down. So these I'm making 2 metres one. Is that alright? 2010, yep. 2010, and that is what all of our doors are going to be, or the openings are going to be. Our door frames will be a little bit less than that. So these are the boards. Now I was hoping that they would be slightly under 45, and in which case they would make up the same width. They're not too bad, they're about 4 mil, 3 mil, too wide. We're going to have to plane it down. That's a bit of a risk because I'm going to shoot some nails in on an angle and then plane over the top of them, but hopefully we can sink them in far enough. Right, that's driven those nails in at least maybe 8 mil below the surface, which should be enough. Which, to be fair to it, they are 90 mil ring shanks, and this is pretty hard seasoned timber, so can't ask to do much more from a battery nailer. There are so many chances that we're going to hit an old nail or screw or bit of gravel that I don't want to use any of my big kits, so it's the cheap old happy shopper planer again. close. We're about 2 mil now. And I think we'll be there. It's a shame we haven't got all the other materials on site ready. The membrane turned up today, which is ahead of schedule, but the actual sheathing, not yet. So that's going to be after the bank holiday weekend, which means we can just crack on with walls. But to give you the warm fuzzy feeling like it will me, we're going to ascend our little hill and we'll have a look down at it. This is our wild patch, i.e. neglected. Perhaps not as streamlined as it could have been, and a little mitre saw might have been handy to keep things straight. And well, I think we did alright actually with the circular saw, but Joe's going to be helping me. We've got 2 days without the girls over the weekend, so we're going to be working on this full time, I think. I'm tempted to just pop out and buy a small little chop saw, just for doing square cuts really, but just something that's a little bit easier to use and nice and good, easy for repeat cuts. Otherwise we might just go back to our studmobile, the stud wagon, go and do a load down in the workshop on the big saw and then bring them up, because that has really helped. All of these studs were just bang on because we just had that stop block when we cut them all, and by doing that in one big batch there's just no deviation at all, and that's pulled everything square. Of course once we get the OSB and all that on, it'll square it all up and you know, give it any prevention of racking, because these would bend around a bit. But until that point, these are at least machined to the right length and things like that. And while I've been framing, and I've also been trying to get this video uploaded, because we do struggle on internet speeds. You might get a video before the bank holiday weekend. Well, there we go. That is stage 1 of the framing done. That's the west wall. Next up, we're going to be working on the centre marriage wall of the 2 trailers. So that basically means that we've got to have a stud wall identical on each one, and when it bolts together, it just looks like one wall. Now I'm a couple of days on now. You can see we've dropped them down and decide that so we can finish levelling up and getting everything nice and flat, ready for the walls to get raised. But also it means that I can share a little bit of a change that happened off camera. Now when I was framing these out, they're load-bearing walls in as much as they've got to hold the cladding and the insulation and the weight of that. The roof does sit on them, but it's just a lightweight tin roof, so it's not quite the same as a domestic loading. However, we did decide to put in a double 200mm timber at the top there, so that's nice over the patio door, no problem there. But you will have seen when we framed up, we just went with a single timber over the top, the header lintel bit over the top of the windows. In reality, that would have been just fine because it's going to be sheathed in OSB, the structure's coming from that anyway, and also the roof is at 600 centres, so only really one truss is going to be on that centre span. Anyway, change of heart, I thought, well, may as well double up. So all I've done, rather than going to the full joist on their side, I've just put, well in this case I've put 3, essentially because we're missing out 3 studs, and a couple here. And that's just going to beef it up a little bit. But like I say, it probably isn't necessary, and it's probably a little bit overkill, but it is the normal thing to do. The other option you can do with these timber frame panels is you can put your structural bit, whatever you need, whether it's over a patio door or a window, you can put that right up against the wall plate, so up under the top, and then any blocking you do underneath that can be lightweight because it's just to reduce the size of the opening. The actual structural bit is up top, if that makes sense. 2 more episodes coming up shortly. Another one is going to be working on the centre line framing and then onto the east wall. And of course we've got to get these levelled up, and we're actually thinking about putting them side by side so we can build together. Now, one of the main parts of the Caravan Act, for this to classify as a caravan, is to ensure that when they are moved and sited, one of the last things to happen is the bolting together. You can't bolt them together then put a roof on top. But the fact that you can sit them next to each other during construction, that's quite a regular thing, and I've been suggested by lots of people in the industry that that's a good way to go if we can do it. And we've got the space here, so it makes sense to do that so we know everything lines up. Otherwise we're really putting our trust into SketchUp and tape measures. So for now, it's going to be a case of sliding this one sideways that's going to be an interesting video with some funky little prehistoric methods going on there, and also leveling. No lasers, but you'll have to wait and see. Thank you again to Speedy for sponsoring this video and all the cabin videos in the future. If you're enjoying it, let us know down in the comments. Any suggestions, recommendations, questions, we love to hear them. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.